Good morning, everyone. I kindly request everyone to kindly keep your phone on silence. We will start shortly. Good morning, everyone. I am Steve Lal, your host for today's event. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the Cybersecurity Resilience Conference 2025, focused on safeguarding businesses and government from cyber threats and disruptions. This conference brings together distinguished academicians, leading industry practitioners, and cybersecurity experts to exchange insights, present innovative research, and engage in critical decision on building cybersecurity resilience in an era of rapid technological advancement. I welcome you all to join us at this conference, which promises immense knowledge and networking. Welcome you all. Let's begin. Now, I would like to request Professor Bhimrai Maitri, sir, conference patron and director of IIM Nagpur, to join us on the dais. Next, I would like to extend a warm invite to the chief guest of the conference, Ms. Geeta Nandikotku, VP of Conferences, Information System Media Group, to join us on the dais. Next, our keynote speaker, Lieutenant General and former National Cybersecurity Coordinator, PMO Office, Dr. Rajesh Pant, to join us on the dais. Next, it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. K. Sridharan, Conference Co-Chair and CEO of Clever Insight, to join us on the dais. I extend an invite to Professor Sujit Kumar Sharma, Conference Co-Chair and Professor in Decision Science and Information System Area in IIM Nagpur, to join us on the dais. Finally, I invite Dr. Magesh Nagarajan, Conference Co-Chair and Professor in Decision Science and Information System Area in IIM Nagpur, to join us on the dais. Now, I invite our esteemed guests to join us to the special tradition of illumination of lamp, symbolizing knowledge, enlightenment, and positivity. With this, we shall also worship Ma Saraswati, who is the goddess of knowledge, and seek her blessings as an embodiment of knowledge, wisdom, and creativity.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता या वीणावर दण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निषेविता जाड्या पहाड.
Once again, I extend a very warm welcome to all the dignitaries on the dais. Now, I request our director, Professor Bhimrai Maitri, to welcome and felicitate our esteemed guests. I request Director Sir to facilitate our esteemed chief guest of today, Ms. Geeta Nandigotur. A very warm welcome, ma'am, to the conference. Next, I request our director to facilitate our keynote speaker, Lieutenant General Dr. Rajesh Pant. Welcome to the conference, sir. I kindly request our director to felicitate Mr. K. Sridharan, conference co-chair. Welcome, sir. Now, I request Professor Sujit sir to felicitate our director, Professor Bhimrai Maitri. Ladies and gentlemen, now I invite Professor Magesh Nagarajan, Conference Co-Chair and Professor in Decision Science and Information System area in IIM Nagpur for the welcome address. Professor Nagarajan brings a wealth of expertise in applied operations, research, simulation, transportation, and smart cities with a rich academic and industry backgrounds spanning from Coverty University, the University of Southampton, and United Nations University. His contribution to the research and analytics in the public sector has been truly commendable. I invite Professor Magesh Nagarajan for the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. It is going to be a very brief welcome. First of all, I would like to welcome everybody on the dais. Dr. Bhimrai Maitri, Director IIM Nagpur, our chief guest, Madam Geeta Nandikotkur, and Dr. Rajesh Pant, and all the experts who are sitting off the dais, as well as participants. We are here to deliberate on an important topic, cybersecurity resilience, particularly when the technology adoption is growing. So it is going to be an industry exchange forum, and I welcome all to be an active participant in this and then take the best value out of it. Thank you. I'll hand it over to MC.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. Now, I would like to invite Professor Bhimrai Maitri, the conference patron and director of IIM Nagpur, to share his few thoughts. Professor Bhimrai Maitri, sir, is a distinguished academician, renowned teacher, researcher, and an astute administrator. An outstanding leader of management education, he has performed key leadership roles at many premier management institutes and corporates in his remarkable career. Professor Maitri is a former director of IIM Trichy. Under his dynamic leadership, IIM Trichy has capitulated among the league of top business schools in India. He has also contributed immensely as a dean at L&D Institute of Project Management, Vadodara, IMI New Delhi, MDI Gurgaon, and leading research programs at BITS Pilani. Sir, with great honor and respect, we request you to kindly address the gathering.
Very good morning, respected chief guest, Geeta ji, keynote address speaker, Dr. Pant, and conference chairperson, Sridharanji, Magesh, Professor Sujit, all the distinguished invited speakers, and young participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege to welcome all of you for this very important conference on cybersecurity resilience. Today, you know that a speed up change, the way it is there, it was never in the history of civilization. The kind of technological disruptions are happening. Almost all businesses are platform-based businesses, network-based businesses. So in such a context, cyber security playing a very, very important role. And if you look at the some of the facts and figures about the cyber security, I am sure experts will be sharing you. It is very alarming. So in this context, how to take care of our businesses, not only businesses, our own, mobile cyber attack, cyber arrest. I think so many things are coming up. So in this context, it is extremely important. Any organization, institutions, even individual, how to take care of safety of our network, data, as well as businesses. And historically, many cases you have seen and you keep reading. So in this context, here onwards, all businesses are going to be platform-based. And today, AI, IoT coming in, further, the intensity of cybersecurity is going to increase. So in this context, this conference plays a very, very significant role, and it is just beginning, and we have to do a lot. As all of you know, 21st century belongs to India. You might have seen the previous century belongs to Equality and Japan. And if you see the history of, little prior to, even if you look at the a century or so, or within the century, Japan was the youngest nation in 1965. Japan ruled the world as a super economy, 1980 to 1995. Then Singapore became 95 to 2000. Singapore was a innovative nation, and 2000 China became the youngest nation and ruled the world and manufacturing hub of the globe. At the same time, India became IT super hub or super center. Now it is a time of India that India is going to lead the world, and leadership is coming from China to India. And these all the link, if you look into that, the youngest nation lead the world. And today India is the youngest nation. The average working population, if you see the figures, and 2005-6 demographic dividend started, and 2055 to 56 it is going to continue. So such a long period India is going to celebrate as a young nation. And 2041, it is a peak of demographic dividend. And historically, if you see country as a whole, since 1947, it took almost 60 years to make 1 trillion. 2007, it became 1 trillion economy. 2007 to 14, it added another 1 trillion. So 7 years good enough. From 60 years, it came down to 7 years to add 1 trillion. And 2020, India became 3 trillion economy. And 2018, when our Prime Minister announced the 5 trillion economy, many people were thinking that it is impossible. But 2024, India right there as a 4 trillion economy. And IMF predicted 27-28, India will become third largest economy, beating Japan and Germany and crossing 5 trillion. However, IMF prediction is going to be wrong. India will be there 1 year ahead of IMF prediction. So this clearly tells we are already 4 plus. So 26-27, India will be 5 trillion. And there onwards, there is a prediction that India is going to add every year or two 1 trillion. And our Prime Minister has kept a vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, Amrit Kal. So coming 25 years or so are going to be very, very important for India. And if you see the average GDP of India last 30 years, this is the only country in the world, it has always maintained the GDP of 7 plus, average GDP for last 30 years. So this clearly shows 27 onwards, every year or two 1 trillion, and to become a Viksit Bharat, developed nation, we have to add up, 30 to 35 trillion. Per capita income today, it is close to 3,000, 2,900 and odd. And it has to go to 15,000 minimum, 15 to 80,000 to become a developed nation. So if we see the East and West, if you see the West, whether it is America, Canada, Europe, they are aging nation. Japan is aging nation. And India is the one country, highest population and biggest democracy, 1.4 billion. It has become a capital of data center. And that is where all businesses, AI-based or machine learning, they have to train the machine and they need a data, and data is only available in India, big data. So therefore, many people, I think experts are sitting, they may shift from Silicon Valley to Bangalore. Bangalore will become, 2.0 Silicon Valley of the world, because data is in India, they have to come to data. Earlier, people used to go to America. America was a magnet. Now India is going to be a magnet. So in this context, this conference is going to play a very, very important role. One of my friends working in Carnegie Mellon, his father migrated to America. So he was telling, I want to come to, shift my company to Bangalore. Medical equipment software company is there. Bangalore, I want to serve my country. I said, bakwas nahi karna hai. You are not coming to serve your country, but you are coming because India is the only destination if you want to progress in your business, in your R&D business, in your software business. So I think India, reverse migration, China already happened when China was super economy. China was leader of the globe. Now India is taking a leadership of the globe. So in this context, not only Indians in America or US or Australia, but people from abroad also migrate to India. So India is going to be the, land of happening or development. That is where 21st century belongs to us. So in this context, you can see that all businesses are going to play important role for the globe, not only for India, because India is going to be the center point of the globe, the way America was there, the way Europe was there. But Europe is already living in the history. America is living in the history. Japan, once upon a time, super economy. It is an aging nation, average age of 48. So if you look at the global restructuring, working people are more in India than the retired people, and reverse in other part of the world. So therefore, in this context, this conference is significantly important for India as well as globe. And first of its kind initiative, I think the credit goes to Sridharanji, his support, his vision, along with two of my colleagues, Professor Sujit and Professor Magesh. Why can't we have this conference or participants as well as great leaders? I met last year Geeta, and that was a big conference in Bombay. And that is where we thought, why can't we have it at IIM Nagpur? So this is a great opportunity to begin on this subject, to discussion, deliberations, and preparing roadmap. So that is how this conference is there. So briefly about IIM Nagpur, I think all the participants, those who are part of this cybersecurity program, you might have listened online to our professors and experts, and physically you are here. Seeing is believing. Otherwise, we always say, every institution will say, my institution is a great institution. But unless until you come and see, you will not, visualize, our imagination will not convert into reality. So I'm Nagpur, July 23rd, it is going to complete 10 years. It is a youngest institution. And you know that in this world, younger ones are leading the older ones. And that is happening here at IIM Nagpur. So we are 10-year-old. However, it has earned the reputation in the Ministry of Education or everywhere, fastest growing IIM. Last 10 years, particularly in the space of executive education, we are right there, number 7 after old 6 IIM, and remaining 15 IIM, many of them yet to open the account in executive education. But we started 3 years back, even though we are 10-year-old in coming July, but 3 years back we started executive education when we moved from UNIT to here. So this is a journey of 3 years, a long way to go. And IIM Nagpur has a lot of vision, not only, grow vertically from IIM Nagpur, but also we are making expansion to Pune. Pune government of Maharashtra has already given 70 acres. And probably within a year or two, we may start our construction. And it is not going to be as usual expansion of other IIMs. Lucknow campus is in Noida. Our Kozhikode is in Cochin. IIM Trichy has in Chennai. But our expansion is, we are going to have full-fledged campus like IIM Nagpur in Pune. And transit campus we are going to have in Goa. Goa Chief Minister has requested. For high-end program, we would like to do, decision maker would like to go to Goa. So we are going to do program out there. Like, Vice Chancellor program, I only do in the country. We do Vice Chancellor's board level program in Goa. And next destination is Hyderabad. Telangana doesn't have IIM, and we are going to right next to ISB. NIMSE is there. We have MOU with NIMSE. And 30-acre plot is there. Ministry of MSME, we are talking, and we'll transfer the land. And like Pune, we want to set up campus in Hyderabad. So next destination, after 5 years or so, we may go to Singapore to set up our international campus. You know that IIT Delhi has gone to UAE, and similarly, Chennai has gone to African countries. IFT is there. So we are also planning to, because you are known by your company. So whom to compete? So Singapore, many best institutions are there. So unless until you are in the company of best, you will not set a benchmark. And your vision, your thinking, vision and visualization goes different. So that is why we are choosing Singapore than any other country like African. So these are some of the plans. We are running MBA 360. And our executive MBA Pune Nagpur campus, we have 75 students. PhD program, we have regular PhD program and executive PhD program. Total 40 students are doing research in different areas. And executive education space is concerned, I think we have 18 variety of certificate programs. So cybersecurity is one of them. Blockchain is another one. These are first of its kind in the country. No IIMs have started. ISB started after 6 months. We started our first batch. And similarly, sustainable leadership program, we are the only one we do with Coal India Limited. And we do programs with WCL, MECL, MILE, HPCL, IOCL, and Steel Authority of India, newly promoted people, and Naval Lignite. So all the way they are coming to us. We have just recently signed. Last 2 years we are doing program. We have signed for 3-year long agreement to do all their program, 3 variety of programs, 3 program. So total 9 program each year. So we are planning with Naval Ignite long plans. And when it comes to private space, we are doing program with Larsen and Toubro, Lupin, then Nordics, Adani. So these are some of the clients we are doing in private space. And when it comes to Government of India selected 9 IIMs for Mahatma Gandhi Fellowship Program, Sankalp Program of World Bank, and IIM Nagpur was given responsibility to develop 40 fellows every district one fellow, 2-year program, government of, and we did for Maharashtra and Sikkim, 2 states. Responsibility was given, we successfully completed. And IIM Nagpur is the only institution in the country to start Chief Minister Fellowship program for the state government. And this is a 1-year program in collaboration with government of Maharashtra. And after completion, they get 75,000 scholarship every month after completion. And even we do hybrid mode. And once the campus module is over, they go and work with respect to ministry, revenue, planning, and corporations and all. And after completion, they are absorbed in government of Maharashtra, working with various departments. Similarly, IIM Nagpur has a Section 8 company called INFED, IIM Nagpur Foundation for Entrepreneurship Development. So this is a Section 8 company we started. And our Prime Minister was a dream of 101 Atal Innovation Centers, and IIM Nagpur is right there in that. And very few institutions got the highest funding of 10 crore. IIM Nagpur is one among them. Otherwise, many institutions get 3 to 4 crores, but we got 10 crores. That was the highest one. We also received the funding from Department of Science and Technology Nidhi scheme. We also got the funding from Startup India Seed Fund of Department of Science and Technology, Genesis Ministry of IT and Electronics, and Department of Promotion. Yesterday we were having the program, so we got the funding from Department of Promotion for the startups. And IIM Nagpur INFED also spreading its wings as a Section 8 company. We already started our branch in Wardha with the collector of Wardha, Wardhini, we have started. And we are also initiated the process from the request of government of Maharashtra and collector of Bhandara and Chandrapur. We are also spreading our wings to all those part of the Vidarbha. And IIM Nagpur does one important, interesting program called Magnet, Maharashtra Agri-Business Network. It is called as a Magnet, supported by Asian Development Bank and Agriculture Marketing Department of Government of Maharashtra. And they identified IIM Nagpur as a center of excellence to raise the bar for farmers in this region, Vidarbha and Marathwada. And we have been given 6 crops, namely orange, sweet lime, turmeric, so like that, and Bhivapuri mirchi. So these are the popular crops in this area they are given. So we are the one, we are training the farmers here, farmer producer organization, FU. We also train the technology partners so that they can produce the applications or app for the farmers sitting in their farmhouse. They should know that what is the rate for orange in Raipur, Jabalpur, Hyderabad or Nagpur. So accordingly, they can park their lot there. So that is one interesting project we are doing with government of Maharashtra. And there is a plan that ADB wants to set up, spending about 60 crore or so, smart agri center here, because from Maharashtra, ADB is going to other states. And whatever the best practices are there, those repositories can be used for other states. And IIM Nagpur is going to be a nodal agency for all programs across the state. Similarly, IIM Nagpur joined hand with Niti Aayog, and it is helping through help desk in 4 areas: agriculture, education, healthcare, and smart villages. In those 4 areas, IIM Nagpur partnering with Niti Aayog. Similarly, IIM Nagpur does number of programs for NGOs in and around. Every year we do one program, NGO, Global NGO Summit, with one of the NGO called Nagpur First. People from Vidarbha region, those who are migrated to abroad, they all come at that time and they do some good work here in this region. And in that, as a social part, they do NGO Summit, and that happens. IIM Nagpur partnering every year in that. And 120 NGOs with their product and all stalls, they display, and also we provide market opportunities there. And our INFED also does the hand holding for the nano entrepreneurs whose number of people working in that small companies less than single digit, less than 10 nano entrepreneurs. Others, we have joined hands with Yamgiri, Maharashtra, Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Rural Industrialization. It is a Ministry of MSME institution in Wardha. I am also on their board, but we are joining hands to promote the nano entrepreneurs, particularly in the area of agri-tech. And our InFed promotes mostly women entrepreneurs, and many of the products, I think you may visit, it is next building is that. We have produced many products based on agri-tech, and even the tractor service, multi-brand tractor service. Farmers now using tractors, but the servicing facility was not there, and it was funded by many good companies. So many such initiatives we have taken as far as entrepreneurship is concerned. And IIM Nagpur also does a lot of research, funded research from ICSSR, about 15 crore research we are doing currently, including one Professor Magesh did the climate change. It is a funding from European Union after the COP declaration of our Prime Minister, Net Zero 2070. Similarly, we do a consultancy assignment in various areas. We do Bosch, Titan, Forest Development Corporation of Maharashtra, and we also did program the consultancy with Government of Maharashtra in the area of Nagpur District Development Plan. And also now we are joint hand with Government of Maharashtra to take its economy from 0.5 trillion to 1 trillion. Currently, Maharashtra has 0.5 trillion economy. There is a institution called Mitra, Maharashtra Institute of Transformation. It is a wing of Niti Aayog, and Government of Maharashtra has requested us to join as a knowledge partner to take its economy from 0.5 trillion to 1 trillion. Out of 5 trillion, what Government of India is planning, Maharashtra government wants to give 1 trillion from this state. This is the biggest state which has two IIMs, IIM Nagpur, and Niti has become recently IIM. And similarly, Government of UP also promised the central government will give 1 trillion. And UP has two IITs. These are the two states, exceptional IIT and IIM. Otherwise, all bigger states have one IIT and one IIM. So both the bigger states population-wise, they have promised, and we are working closely with Government of Maharashtra. And in the Niti Aayog scheme, similarly, we have another Section 8 company called CLIP, Council for Logistic Infrastructure and Project Management. And Government of Maharashtra is very keen to work with us. And Disaster Management Agency, Government of Maharashtra, we are working. And 2028, now Mahakumbh is happening in Prayagraj, and Nasik 2028, there is a Kumbh Mela. And IIM Nagpur has already joined hand with Government of Maharashtra for urban planning, as well as how to evacuate the people during the rush time. So these are the areas currently we are working. So this is all brief about IIM Nagpur, and IIM Nagpur, this growth journey and story, 2-3 important aspects plays. Number one is my faculty strength, the intellectual capital, because we have, even though it is a new institution, but we had very senior faculty. Those who have corporate exposure as well as global exposure, and that is one biggest strength of IIM Nagpur over the others. Second one, IIM Nagpur, it is blessed with its natural gift or location. It is heart of India, center point of India. During British colony, it was called as a 0 mile, but now we are popularizing Nagpur as a net zero center point of India, keeping sustainable development goals in mind. So this kind of gathering happens in Nagpur. You can reduce carbon footprint or CO2 emission. One flight away from all metros. This is the only place in India. And if you come by train, it is overnight journey, and diamond crossing happens Kolkata to Mumbai and Jammu to Kanyakumari. 90-degree crossing happens here. This is a unique place. And again, your carbon emission will be less. And that is how Nordics company going to IIM Kolkata, they moved to IIM Nagpur, because now they are getting carbon credits instead of losing the CO2 emissions, carbon footprint. So that is again another natural gift why gathering should happen here. And companies, those who have spread their employees across the country, they preferred IIM Nagpur as a destination for their training program, because carbon credit, carbon footprint, and CO2 emissions are going to play important role. So it is a natural gift. It is not our effort, but we are located here. That location and connectivity plays an important role for Nagpur. And the third one is we are very, very, if you look at it is Nagpur. IIM Nagpur is very working closely with both the government, state government as well as central government. Whether you talk about NEP implementation or All India Board of Management Association or development of standard or Ministry of Commerce or even the Ministry of Education, AICT, UGC, NBA, NAC, all the regulator. So I'm Nagpur faculty member, including me. We are associated in influencing, advocating, and also policy making. And that helps IIM Nagpur to, because before something comes, we are already know because we are part of those committees. So that also helps IIM Nagpur. Even the youngest institution, but our involvement in higher education policy making is biggest. And that is how IIM Nagpur playing a significant role. With this, once again, I welcome all the dignitaries and invited speakers, distinguished speakers, and all my dear participants. Welcome to IIM Nagpur. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving an overview about IIM Nagpur and to share your observations on India's growth and role of cybersecurity and data management in that. Thank you, sir. Now, let me welcome Mr. Sridharan K, Conference Co-Chair and CEO of Clever Insight, to introduce the conference. Mr. K. Sridharan is a technocrat, leader, and innovator with 30 plus years of experience in the software service industry, product development, IT strategic consulting, and AI and data science domains. He has been a technology advisor for Fortune 500 companies globally. Sridharan is currently the CEO of Clever Insight, actively working on building AI and data science solutions, focusing on public education, public health, life sciences, manufacturing, and agriculture sector. Before Clever Insight, he also served as a CEO of BFL Software Embassies. He is currently on the advisory board of universities in US and Asia and Bay Area-based product companies. He is helping to build AI and data science departments for universities in emerging markets to promote the next technology horizons and to provide better access and opportunity to students and cooperative executive. Sir, I kindly request you to address the gathering.
Thank you, Mr. Lal. Before I start my session, Vyas, can you just put that video? Just you observe this video, then I will start the talk. Thank you, Vyas. I will again play it later. I hope you observed it. So when we started, we prayed to Saraswati. And sir, you brought Prayagaj here. Once in 144 years, the planets will be aligned. Today, we have almost 10 planets here, starting with Geeta, Dr. Pant, Dr. Vatsa, Sridhar, Parag, Srini, my buddy, Robin, Arvind, and there are me and T. And interestingly, nowadays the CISOs, their name should start with S. Shailaja, Satya, Shobha. I have not met you, but I guess you are Shobha. And best part is, my name also starts with S. So, sir, you have brought all planets from north to south, not only to Nagpur, inside IIMN, inside this convocation center. It is really great. Thank you very much. Having said that, my apologies. I didn't remove my shoes when we had the prayers. I was so excited to be with Dr. Pant, so I forgot it. So my apologies. When you light the lamp, our culture, we have to remove the shoes. My apologies. Having said that, yes, go to my thing. Okay. Can you remove the top one? That's the meat of the business. Go to the first slide. Okay, go to the first slide. Little up, little up. First slide, first slide. Okay, it's hiding. Actually, my talk also, success hide failures. That is a talk I'm going to give in the next 5 minutes. And Professor Magesh said, I have to talk something on the importance of the international conference, which I'm going to talk for 2 minutes. Then what is this course CDS program? This is the 3 key agenda. I'm going to do it. Before starting it, we ask, go to the next slide. Next slide. Yeah. So we missed this person. Last year, he did a great job for us in CDS 1. And even for you, he took 4 sessions for you. We are missing Dr. Colonel Inderjit Singh. Let's 10 seconds, let us stand and then let the soul rest in peace. Thank you. So we miss him. One of the brilliant person, I have met him, Dr. Colonel Inderjit Singh. And in fact, me and him talked to him 12 hours before his death. We were discussed to start writing a book. But within 12 hours, I found out that he's no more. Let his soul rest in peace. Next slide. So, in another 3 or 4 months, this book is coming to the market. Future Big Game, Gen AI with cybersecurity at the inflection point. You know, in the calculus and Fourier transform, the inflection point is where actually the direction changes. So the direction is going to change. As Sir said, 2047, India is going to be the third largest country in the next 5 years. India is going to be the developed country by 2047. So Gen AI is going to play a major role. That is the inflection point. This book is going to be released in another 2 or 3 months. I request all of you to give me accolade for this book. I'll give the book to you. Satya, please give me an accolade. Okay, next one. Next one. Okay, what is this course? Let me read from here. This is a second CDS, that is Cybersecurity and Data Science batch. Last year was the first batch. This is the second batch. We are kickstarting the third batch by March 2nd. This is a unique techno management program. It is having the combination of the technology and management. There are 3 aspects. The real technology, cybersecurity technology, what all of you know. Then the management, that's where IIM Nagpur is coming to picture, the strategy, communication, and all other aspects. Third one, the management of the cybersecurity itself. So that is so this is a very unique program. Yesterday, when we were discussing, I saw right now 197 CISOs program are available. I saw in LinkedIn. 93 CISOs CISOs positions are available through Glassdoor. So much of abundance of opportunity for you. Think big. So 52 weekend program. Most of them are case study based. 76 students are graduating. They are getting the certificate tomorrow. I think 65 are attending today. 15 anchors handle the session, including Sridhar, Arvind, Robin. Satya, you didn't do it this time. Next year, please do it. So 15 anchors, also late Colonel Inderjit Singh. We are starting the third batch on March 2nd. Okay. Okay. Let us give a thumping hands to all of you. First of all, to the students. Dr. Panch, I tell you, these students, frankly, they can take classes to me and you. Such a brilliant students in the thing. Then next to the anchors, of course, Dr. Sappan, Triveni, you brought the Prayagaj here, Triveni. All three rivers are here. And of course, Jara. Magesh, I don't have any words to praise you. I know how much you work hard. To bring all the 9 planets, it's not an easy joke, man. So you did a wonderful job. Thank you very much. Last but not least, my friend, Director Mitri, really a visionary man. So this IIM is a 3rd generation IIM, but already it is in the top 10. Can you believe? Really visionary man. He visioned about this cybersecurity 5 years back. And, we kickstarted around 3 years back like that. A lot of spade work happened. I also connected with FedEx Institute of Technology and other aspects. So thank you, sir. Your vision is remarkable. And I am lucky to be your friend. Next slide. Okay, to just give you an idea of what we have done. Management foundation, technical foundation, policies and governance, strategic dimension, basics of data science and AI, program management. Last year, Satya did. This year, I don't know who did it. Cloud security, Sridhar, CEO of Cloud and Beyond, risk management, incident response, crisis management. I took the class. Data privacy and implications, tools and techniques. Somebody from SAP Labs took it, tools and techniques. Data-driven communication, I think Arvind. Applied AI and Gen AI, my buddy, Robin. So, future trends and innovations. These are all the courses which we did for this batch. For the next batch, with the advice of Sujit, Dr. Sujit, we are introducing 2 more. One is security in AI, then OT security. India is going to grow, as I said, manufacturing and all other aspects. We are going to introduce 2 sessions or 3 sessions, OT security and AI security. So, thanks to Sujit, gave me the idea. Go to the next one. So, sir already told you, I'm not telling about this. There's a bug in the software. Robin, you didn't come properly on time, man. Okay. He's having the regular PPT with him, but he didn't give it to me. So, the next 2 years is data, AI, and cybersecurity. I am not talking about it. Gartner, McKinsey, Boston Consulting, ISMG, they're all talking the top 3 technology for the next 3 years is data, AI, and cybersecurity. Without data, nothing can be done. So let me sell myself. We at Clever Insight, we are an AI product on data science. Next slide. Okay, this we talked. Next one. This we talked. Next one. Okay, another 2 minutes. It is a general subject about India. The title is Success Hide Failures. I'm not able to read it, so let me come here. One side of India, we boast billionaires, and we say that rocket launching and all other aspects. In fact, I got my degree from IIM from Professor Satish Dhawan. So we are so great, humongous success. The other side of the India, you and me, management students as well as software students, we are highly successful, outstanding success. There is another one. All these success can come only if you have good health, good family life, and decent money. Today, Dr. Pant was telling, he's actually looking like my mentor, Azim Premji. Said, you are like Premji. He's a big man, he's a rich man. And so, money, decent money is enough. Not that you have to have so much of money. If these 3 are there, grand success. So, humongous success, outstanding success, grand success. That is what we have. There are only 2 categories of people in India. Rich people, poor people. Let us not categorize, all millionaires and all those things. Even a barber, he earns 20,000 rupees. He's so happy. A servant maid with her husband in my house, they are earning around 1 lakh rupees per month. So they are also rich people. They get good food, they get good sleep. What else you want, madam? So the other side, what is that? With these successes, what it is hiding? Go to the next slide. the crucial side of India, 75%, 780 million people live in villages. Less than 100 cities. So you are all earning money 1.3 CR, 1.5 CR, CR is crore, right? 55 lakh. What to adopt one or two people? What to adopt one or two people? Give a boy a girl, a book or something like that. Why are you so greedy that put that 1.3 CR, I pay 80% tax, rest of them are in my bank like that. Give that 100 rupees, 500 rupees to those people, starting with Sujata and other people, please, all of you. Then only the vision can be achieved. We have to do that. President Kalam had a vision to develop India in 2020. He kick-started it. Not a success so far. Now, Prime Minister, as I think as Dr. Maitri said, he has a vision of 2047. Will it be a success? Yes, it will be a success. Definitely. Dr. Pant is going to talk. So be a paranoid, doubt about yourself, grow yourself first. Obviously, without growing, you cannot survive. Grow yourself first, grow your department, wherever you are working. Me and you are in Philips Healthcare, grow your department, grow your company, grow your country. Distribute little money to the poor people. It is Prime Minister cannot do for all 780 million people. You have to do, madam. Give some money. What is wrong in that? If we don't do it, you are hiding the failures. With humongous success, outstanding success, and grand success. Can you do it? Not only for the front benchers, for the bank benchers also. Please. That is the way only you can help Prime Minister. Who will be the Prime Minister in 2047? Okay, next slide. So what all of us should do, don't ask what the country has done for you. Ask what you can do for the country. Again, same slogan, give some money to others. Think seriously. Go to Mysore if you're in Bangalore. Go to Noida if you're in Delhi. Adopt one or two children. Give some money. That child in another 10 years will be, slightly wealthy or slightly healthy. Please do that. So don't ask, oh, this GST is useless, that is useless. Don't worry, man. They will do their job. You do your job. Don't ask what the country has done for you, but ask what you can do for the country. If you don't do it, China will swallow us. Very clear. So if you want China to swallow us, no. Dr. Gargi, you agree with me, Dr. Gargi? Let us face the world by lifting the shoulders. So I think that's my last slide. Again, you play the game. Is there any other slide after that? Go to the next slide. Yes. Okay, play that video again. So then the last question I will ask you. So please observe it. This is connected with your cybersecurity. Play the video. Okay. When the intruder comes to your place, so who is the intruder here? Squirrel or the other one? Huh? Fox or squirrel? Squirrel? Okay, no problem. You see the video again. It happened in my backyard there. So, squirrel, man. Squirrel will be in the tree. He knows the trick of the trade, how to get escape from fox. How smartly it is doing it. That is what you have to do. If the intruder is coming, you have to be careful and don't allow them inside. Use Clever Insight AI tool to stop it. Okay. So, Arjun, where are you? You agree with me, Arjun? Okay. So, please listen to this video again. You have to stop your intruder in your organization. That's what this video. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that interesting introduction to the program and also for sharing your views on success. Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce chief guest of today's event, Ms. Geeta Nandigotur. She is the Vice President of Conferences in Asia, Middle East, Africa, and of the Information Security Media Group. Ms. Geeta is an award-winning journalist with over 30 years of experience in newspaper, audiovisual media, magazine, and research. She has an understanding of technology and business journalism and has moderated several roundtables and conferences in addition to leading mentoring programs for the IT community. Before joining ISMG, Nandigotur worked for 9.9 Media as a group editor for CIO and leader, IT Next and CSO Forum. Ma'am, it's a great honor to have you among us. Welcome to IIM Nagpur. I request you to share a few thoughts with the gathering.
Thank you. Can you hear me? So good morning. Good morning. That's good. I think you're all tired of saying good morning, right? Since morning. But anyway, thanks for being here. And I'm really fortunate to be here amongst all the intellectuals and all the intellectuals who are really scaling up in their career. And thank you so much, Mr. Sridharan, Dr. Maitri, Professor Magesh, and Sujit for inviting me to this. A few thoughts I would like to share and a disclaimer before I proceed with my presentation. So I'm the Vice President for Asia, Middle East, and Africa, but by nature, by profession, I'm a journalist who started my career as a journalist, as a political journalist, as a film journalist, as a everything under the domain. I've been a journalist, but now I'm focused on cybersecurity and graduated to being hosting conferences, getting all the thought leaders such as yourself to get together and create a platform to educate ourselves. So that's the objective here. So let me, who we are, just a brief about ISMG. ISMG is the global digital media group headquartered in the US. And we have, our CEO is Sanjay Kalra, who is again an Indian who is migrated to the US when he was 14 years. And then he had the passion to have a publication. And he himself is a security practitioner. He had a passion to create a publication and extend that knowledge. Because imagine 15 years back, we are a 19-year-old firm. 19 years back, cybersecurity was just a thought. Nothing was. But today, where we are in 2025, it has really leaped forward so much, right? And he started this media group, and now we have 38 global websites writing about the content spreading across every domain under risk management, information security, and IT. That way we acquired an IT firm. So we write about, we have over 1.8 million subscribers worldwide. We are present across geographies. And we conduct great events, summits, and Lieutenant General Pant has been the keynote speaker at most of our events and all our friends here. And our presence across global, you can see the coverage we have. And the brands the 38 brands across Europe, US, Asia, India, we have domain-specific brands. So that's brief about ISMG. So I want to start with a quote. How many of you here know about Black Hat conference? Any of you have attended? Great. So you know the founder, right? Jeff Moss, founder of DEF CON and conference. What he says, really this quote attracted me, which has really relevance to what you are doing today. So you have to go out to pace yourself. Means you have to stay ahead of your attackers. You need to decide what you care about. When you are getting into corporate, I'm sure you're all working professionals and you're all working now, getting into the cybersecurity domain, and you're all aspirants to scale up in your career, isn't it? And want to develop those skills which IIM Nagpur is trying to impart. on being techno-management leaders. So you're all technically very sound. The management part adds to growing yourself as a leader, right? So what you need to pick up your battles. You need to pick up your fights, and you have to be okay with not winning, not solving everything, but at the same time, which always could be depressing, right? Demoralizing if you don't win your battles when you pick up your fights. But then I think the attitude matters. What he says, if you have a black and white absolute view, which means you are really stubborn on sticking only one point of view and not able to adapt to the changes that the ecosystem is throwing at you, I think you'll be burnt out. So love the ecosystem, change yourself, be the change. So I really like this quote. So I want to start my small stuff, which as a disclaimer, I'm not an authority on security, but I have been talking to security leaders globally, and I gain my knowledge by my interaction with the security leaders and who are hands-on. And that inspires me to love the topic. When I write something, I want to get into the deep aspects of catalyst between a technologist and you all. I need to communicate the technology in a simple language so that you understand and pick up thread from there. So my role is very difficult because I need to understand the technology first. So new age security leaders, what's the ask? You all, I think, agree that a lot of things have changed. The technology has really grown at a geometrical progression. And what we used to see once upon a time in horror movies, right? You all watch English movies, you all watch horror movies, in CBI, comes up with a lot of series. And so much, everything is science fiction, right? But today, we are in a world, every fiction is changing into reality. And that is really scaring us today. And like Dr. Maitri and Professor Sridharan, they set the beautiful context, how India is growing at an alarming pace, and which is a good growth. Adding to that, it is adding to our complexity, right? The AI. We are really a generative AI to quantum computing. I was speaking to one of my friends yesterday, our Professor Devesh. Decade, we are in the decade where quantum computing, we all need to be geared up for 2030, which is Q Day. It's called Q Day, Quantum Day. Are we all geared up? That itself is a big topic, the whole day we can discuss. So it has a great potential to change our lives as cybersecurity professionals. But at the same time, it is going to add your risk so that you should be able to carry that appetite, the risk appetite for your organizations that you are going to work for and scale up. So the three core attributes to your success. New age, you're all new age security leaders. As Mr. Sridharan said, you're all ready to take classes for the older generation. So anyone can guess what would be the three attributes that a new age security leaders would have? Anyone? Wild guess. Sorry? Intuition, great. Agile, yes. Agility is. Anyone else? Sorry? Integrity, first, fantastic. And all the 3 points of great. Yes, absolutely. Presence of mind. Innovation, it should be in your blood. And innovation is driving crazy, right? That's how your job starts. When the innovation comes, your job as security leader starts, right? Because that is a lot of challenges, a lot of chaos. So I would say, from my understanding of the domain, from my interaction, from the challenges the CISOs are facing today, I think you need to Are you a wartime cybersecurity professional? That will be your, I'll come to that. We can double click on each of the points quickly. So are you a wartime cybersecurity professional? Have you ever thought of this, that you're in a war zone? Yes, anyone? You're cybersecurity professionals. You are the budding CISOs, budding leaders who completely the organization depends on you. Because today you're seeing every minute as we speak, there are so many attacks happening on your own systems. Then you can't be, you need to be a wartime, right? You are CISO of a wartime. So the second aspect, do you all agree with this? I think Dr. Maitri spoke about it. Professor Magesh spoke, Mr. Sridharan, he spoke, leadership. That is what is lacking. Today, everyone calls Modi a great leader for India and who can have vision, right? And it applies to everyone, you and me, everyone here. Unless we visualize what's going to change and how we prepare ourselves to that change, not be a leader. So we need to define ourselves at every stage. So the third is transparency, right? Transparency and accountability. That is great. You can be a leader. Is it something with me? Oh, sorry. While you can be a great leader, but unless you are making yourself accountable, you are making the teams accountable, you cannot sustain the leadership, isn't it? So, can anyone tell me, how do you define a wartime cybersecurity profession? Anyone? Wild. Any thoughts? Mm-hmm. That's a war, yes. You have. Decision making? Yeah? Okay. Sorry? Okay, that's great. Fantastic. I think all of it includes. But the definition, it's a simple definition, nothing great. Who? Cybersecurity leader who operates with a mindset akin to a military strategist on a battlefield. So I've been speaking to a lot of generals who were on the battlefield, and we have a general here, Lieutenant General Pant, and others. See, what happens in a battlefield, in a war, when they go on, you must have seen a lot of movies, the Uris of the world and all that. So whatever strategies as a professional you make inside the war room, inside the boardroom, inside your premises, okay, you carve out a great strategy. Okay, we are going to plan this way, attack, defend this way. A lot of planning goes before you wage a war against other countries. But once you are into that battlefield, all your strategies fail. Because one of you said presence of mind. That is most important as a leader. While you can imbibe those qualities from a military exercise, but as a cybersecurity professional, when attack happens on your systems, the first thing, you are in a panic. You are in panic. So what to do? And then the presence of mind. Or whatever strategies you put, whatever compliance you put, everything goes for a toss. You need to act because your management is after you, your stakeholders are after you, your reputation in the media is after you, and your the media is in front of you. How do you handle? This is the war zone that you are all going to be in. So, again, relating this to your cybersecurity, your profession that you are going to be in and making the right decisions. Most often when I have grown in this industry for the last so many years. And this is I completed 10 years at ISMG, talking to only cybersecurity professionals. the concept of moving away from box checking. How many of you still think the box checking is important in cybersecurity? Yeah? Still important to certain extent. Yes, because we are all regulated by the regulatory bodies like RBI, the SEBI, the healthcare is the HIPAA. We have so many regulations, right? And we need to be showing a clean sheet to them, right? And I'm sure you are under pressure. You're going to say, okay, let me check all this. I have compliance, I have the tools, I have everything. Let me check box and then show. But is that sufficient? I think that is where the mindset, the behavioral aspects come in. You need to move away from that box checking attitude and then see, understand the changes in the behavior, right? That because nothing is going to work when the attack happened, the fraud. I'm sure most of you or your relatives would have been victim of fraud. I myself am a victim of, my father lost a lot of money. Nothing works when box checking. Then what's that? So again, there is a change in the mindset. Do you all agree with me? There's a change mindset. So you need to be able to, and you know the CISO's role, I'm sure all my friends here agree with me. The last person the man board comes with CSO, and now things are changing. So the CISO should have, or cybersecurity professional should have answer to everything. You need to be solving every problem that comes, that's thrown at you, and every surprise. And that's why I think Professor Mr. Sridharan said, you are not going to sleep. It's a nightmare, right? Every CSO speaks in person. Nobody is speaking, sleeping without any guilt. There's always something going on. And that is you're going to face. I'm not going to scare you, but this is a reality. It's a reality check we're all doing. So again, I would say you are the catalyst of change. Be the change. You know what? I just want to relate a small incident. A small fact, I would say. 10 years back, first, I was hosting the first cybersecurity conference for all the cybersecurity practitioners, the CISOs, the risk professionals. I went to one of the top CISOs in the country and asked, see, I'm going to host a data breach prevention summit in Mumbai. Do you think, is it a good idea? So what would be the response? Can anyone guess? Sorry? Yeah, that's right. A top CISO, is it? Why do you want to host a data breach prevention summit? We don't have any breaches. We don't have breaches at all. I think you'll be wasting your money because no one will be interested in attending your conference. No one will be able to sponsor your conference. I think it will be a failure. I would suggest sincerely not to go ahead. But somehow my gut feel, he said, as a conference chair, no, I must go. At least test waters, right? I hosted the conference. I got good sponsorships. I had 350 top profile registrations because there's so much of learning. There's so much of appetite to understand where we are going to head. You know, after 5 years, the same organization had a major cyber attack. Can you guess which that organization was? Global. It's a global, Indian global organization. Any guess? Not ready to guess? It hit the headlines. It made the entire ecosystem scary. How many of your IT services companies here? Organization? I'm sure you all must be guessing. No? No, Infosys TCS also, no, but it was a major thing above all these. Anybody from Wipro? Wipro? Anyone here from Wipro? Yeah. That's right. And the same CISO had come back to me in the morning, 4 o'clock. Because Wipro is a global company, right? Then my suggestion, customers, whatever may be the reason, whether it's through backdoor or it is through credentials, anything, just give a statement. That will save you and your company's reputation that you guys are honest with your customers. Because tomorrow your customer is not going to trust you, right? So don't take things easy. And I've heard this from hundreds of CISOs. I'm fine. My organization is fine. But tomorrow, next day, they hit the headlines. Comes into picture. And this is a great platform at IIM Nagpur that you are going to gain those skills and apply them in your real life. So, redefining leadership. We have been talking so much about leadership. Can anyone guess what percentage of the security practitioners or the CISOs sit on the board today, along with the board? Sorry? 3%? You have been very conservative, I would say, but good to be conservative. 30% would be not a little too high. Of course, each organization, each statistics differ. But in a real practical sense, about 5 years back, less than 5% was on the board. But now I understand, nothing is wrong or right. It's about 14%. I'm talking about global. 14% of the CISOs occupy the board seat. The decisions the board makes, the CISOs are part of it. And India could be around, more or less around same. And tomorrow, as cybersecurity professionals and as the IIM, graduates, I really I aspire that you all should be on the board as the decision making. So how do you redefine yourself? Again, a few points. I don't want to too much get into this because we are already, I think, behind schedule. The task on hand is exploit your transformative power of independence. Take control in your hands and safeguard it effectively, because ultimately you're all business enablers. The board doesn't care if you're a CISO, if you're using what kind of tools, how many tools, they don't care. Ultimately, are you able to drive my business without create a hassle-free environment? That's the ultimate goal. And you always keep challenging it. A leader needs to challenge its status quo and build your personality. And you'll be surprised to know that it is not a joke. Since I have been hosting conferences, I approach every CISO across industries. Last week I was in Singapore. The same story. People are so shy to come and share their own experiences. Please do not do that. That is where the confidence, challenge your status quo and elevate your personality. And that's how you can prove that you're making right decisions. And then develop evidence-based decision-making. See, and again, there's a common that everyone talks about budget. Budgets, we don't have budgets. We can't do that. My management doesn't give me. I think if you're all going to report to CFO, the CFO says 0 budgets. I don't have any budgets. I think Dr. Maitri very much will agree when it comes to budget. But you need to make a pathway. How do you give that investment decision making is very critical in your, in your journey to speak a right language with the board. Then transparency and accountability. So I talked about accountability. So you're all wearing multiple hats. And it was interesting to know that from Dr. Maitri and Sridharan that you're launching new courses in OT and IT and other AI and other courses, which is brilliant. You know what the challenge, I was speaking to a lot of CISOs from the public sector CISOs and manufacturing, oil and gas, energy. You come to this and so much, you all agree that the attacks on OT and IT systems are really growing into prominence? Yeah? So what's the problem? Are they able to solve that? Tough. You know, the problem is they're all working in silos. You believe me, honestly, the CISO tells me, Geeta, I don't know as a CISO what's happening in my OT. I don't, who's accountable for an attack? Is the OT guy because it's on his systems? Or is it IT guy? Or is it a CISO? CISO is not a system. He has to secure, but who is accountable when it comes to? Because OT guy reports to CRO. The CISO reports to CRO. Then who is going to be accountable? Who is going to be transparent and how do you bridge these silos? And that will be your role because you are going to wear multiple hats. And with OT gaining prominence and the AI coming into picture, the complexities are going to increase tremendously. So your role is operational resilience. You are no longer establishing cybersecurity resilience, the theme that we have, but that's your core. But you need to be prepared to build organizational and operational resilience because you're going to wear multiple hats. You're the business enablers, you're the risk leaders, you're educators, you need to educate, right? You don't know how you need to be strategic thinkers. So because building operational resilience, and I remember when I started my journey also in cybersecurity as a journalist, every CISO I speak to, the entire security journey starts from the compliance. Compliance-driven security. We are no longer in that space of compliance-driven security. As I mentioned earlier, box checking. We are wearing different hats, and you are going to wear different hats when you join your organizations or scale up. You're all working professionals. You're already, you have your core, but try to wear these hats and see the difference that you can make. You need to be, and the new age boardrooms, a lot of questions are being asked by the board, and with the AI coming into picture, I'm sure our friends would here agree that the new types of questions come from the board. You all need to be geared up. How do you combat those? You need to be internal combat, cyber combat internally before you go to the external world. Then again, the fourth point, balancing security, speed, and value. You all know this. This is not all the new phenomenon, but here is, I want to reiterate that these are the challenges that you need to be prepared as you scale up in your career. And this platform is going to really give this kind of opportunity for you to learn. I'm sure you're on the last, going to receive your certificates. And so before I end, the last slide I want to focus on 5 C's in cybersecurity. Anyone can guess what are the 5 C's quickly? Sorry? Compliance, yeah? Sorry? Curiosity, confidentiality, consistency, great. Yeah, good. I think everything comprises. Wonderful. So focus on 5 C's in cybersecurity, which is really pivotal to your growth. And all this encompasses this, right? All the facts that you mentioned. So what would they be according to me? Or according to the standard? Change. You are the change. You are the beacons of change. Change yourself. You need to also, you're working with very traditional minded CISOs in your organization. You're all young. So change that mindset. So compliance. That's good. You need to, though we are not in a compliance-driven security, but considering the regulatory obligations that we have, you need to comply with everything. And the cost. One of you mentioned cost. And I think, so Sridharan, you mentioned the cost of breach. I think our professionals are going to talk in some time. They're going to give more scary situation. What kind of cost implications you could see just with one attack. And continuity. Someone said consistency, continuity. You need to continue. Here, continuity is a sustainability. You need to, what gets you here will not get you there, right? So how do you build that sustenance model within your organization? That depends on you. Nobody's going to teach you. Whatever teachings, you need to be doing it here. Once you are in that war zone, nobody teaches you. It's your own leadership traits and the coverage. What I mean here, coverage, the attack surface is expanding, right? How do you expand your horizon, your capabilities, your personality traits, your mindset? Everything comes under coverage, all these things. So thank you so much for being patient, listening, and wishing you all a great, wonderful career. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your valuable experience and also enlightening us on the traits that a cybersecurity professional should possess. Now, I'm delighted to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Rajesh Pant. Lieutenant General Rajesh Pant is an internationally recognized cybersecurity mentor who has recently been appointed as the National Cybersecurity Coordinator in National Security Council Secretariat of India under the PMO. Under his stewardship, the nation has risen from 47th to 10th in the Global Cybersecurity Index of the United Nations. He holds a PhD degree in his for his research in the field of information security metrics. He has headed the Army Cyber Training Establishment for 3 years and served in the Army Signal Corps for 41 years, wherein he received. Sir, welcome.
Thank you. I think they all know me. So, friends on the dais, friends in front of the dais, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, wish you a very good morning. So how's the Josh with second batch of CDS? Good. I like that. So, in the defense services, CDS is also Chief of Defense Staff. So you guys are already, very senior. Congratulations. And thanks also for entertaining us last night. We had heard some lovely songs. So congratulations to the singers and my compliments to Dr. Maitri. Personally, I'm very impressed with the campus and the facilities that you have. So thank you very much for having me here. This quote from the Prime Minister is very important, where he talks of cybersecurity being a part of national security. So it's not only, defending the land borders that he's talking of. He's not talking only of energy security, economic security, health security, but he has this vision that cybersecurity is all pervasive and it is one of the most essential aspects of national security. And all around us, the 5 domains of warfare that we talk of, land, air, sea, space, and cyber. I do not know how many of you have been to space and air and sea, land, of course, but cyber, we are there every day. Why? Because it's in our pocket. You cannot escape from cyberspace. The moment you take it out and open whatever app you're using, it is there. And it is all around us also. In the actual Mahakumbh, it is there. There is a very strong presence of cybersecurity personnel there, just for information. CERT India has set up a cell there. Cybercrime is there, and this particular pic is from the video that was floating around. Would have heard of this, that they tried and they actually caught these people who were spreading this video of women bathing in Mahakumbh. So it's everywhere. You can't get away from it. Okay, let me ask you, what is this? It's a CNN news report of train derailments and air accidents as systems fail. Yeah. 0-day attack. 0-day. All those who've not seen it, please see it. The first episode itself, you realize how important cyberspace is. Everything, goes haywire in the US. Okay. Now, who's this? Yeah, you're close. She has 125,000 followers on Instagram and she's AI. She's an AI influencer. Aitana Lopez. Just for information, Google it. Google Baba se check kar lo. Okay, so I'll hurry up because we are already ahead of time. But what I will cover is where we are at the moment in terms of protecting our national cyberspace, where we want to be, what are the challenges in between, and what should we do about it. So where we are is basically that every department, every ministry, every aspect of governance today has a large dependence on cyberspace. And there is a concept in the government that we are working on, which is called our national sovereign cyberspace. So our data, if it is in an Amazon server, which is outside the territorial boundaries of India, that is our national cyberspace. But only when it is inside the territorial boundaries of India where we have jurisdiction, will it be the national sovereign cyberspace. So there is a subtle difference which we are working on. And of course, there's going to be an explosion with the 5G, 6G, and IoT connectivity. The expansion of the attack surface will take place. Good news, of course, is what somebody mentioned, that when I was the NCSC, we came from 47 to the 10th position in the top 10. But some nations didn't like it. Australia was behind us. China was behind us. So I know the discussions that took place in ITU, they said that why don't we have these categories of, tier 1, tier 2, and have some more countries. It psychologically satisfied them. So now instead of ranking them, because India had done so well, now they started a tier system. So we are in the tier 1 with a large percentage. And this is an exercise. It's a year-long exercise that takes place as to where we figure in the global cybersecurity index. The not so good news, of course, is also there that we are the second most targeted nation in terms of cyber attacks. Of course, one of the reasons is our sheer size of the attack surface with 1.28 billion phones and almost now 900 million internet users. So naturally, the number of attacks will be more. But it has also a lot to do with our presence in the tier 2 and 3 cities. The status, as you can see, its number of cyber attacks are rising. Last year, it was 18 lakh plus reported incidents to certain. Ransomware, although it's much more than 100%, the rise, and we know it, we cannot share the confidentiality aspect about the reports that come to certain, but ransomware especially has gone up a lot. Just about, I think 2 weeks back, the chairman of Tata Group, Chandra, is a friend of mine. He rang me up. One of his companies came under ransomware, and it's a serious threat. The interesting thing is that if you see the bottom right diagram as to where these attacks are coming from, there's no China there, there's no Pakistan there, because what we see is the last IP. And you can see it in our National Informatics Center in Delhi. They got this huge board, and you find 40% of the attacks coming from mainland US. So they hire that VPS there, and because of privacy, you just don't come to know who's there, but they're actually 2-3 hops behind. So attribution is something, just keep it at the back of your mind. It's very, very difficult in these cyber attacks. And as a nation, we lost 3 lakh crore rupees due to cybercrime last year. So we just cannot afford these headwinds with the sort of aims that we have in mind. And you can see the major data breaches in just last year. I just took out some of them. Every month, these are the major data breaches. And there are many more. But I don't think any company is left. If your company is left, then either you don't know it or it's not there. Okay. Yeah, these are some of the logos. So everyone is affected. I mean, so what are the implications? Implications are revenue loss, loss of business, the revenue loss and loss of business and reputational loss, especially critical for the BFSI, the banking sector. Loss of data, of course, whether it's personal or whether it is IPR data or government data. The social impact, which influence operations both in the US and other elections. They talk of it, and there's a growing importance of cyber warfare as a part of gray zone warfare. So overall, as the PM said, it has an impact on national security. I think Geeta was talking of the budgets that are going up. And as you can see in this slide, almost 1/3 of the companies, their budget has gone up by about 10 to 14%, the cybersecurity budget. So that is something that you'll have to keep in mind, that especially after COVID, we have to spend a lot more because of work from home and all the other digitalization and the transformation that is taking place. So a couple of years, the cybersecurity budgets will have to be more. I think everyone knows this. Who does it? There are individuals, every mafia group today has a very strong cybercrime cell. Then there are activists and non-state and state-backed actors. They come through various attack vectors, which are growing as we speak. And the solution to that lies in the age-old people, process, and technology aspects. What are the objectives of Viksit Bharat? This is what we've been speaking of in 2047, where we want to be, that we want to be a 30 trillion economy within now 22 years. Exactly in 22 years we have. And the strategy is on consolidating infrastructure, expanding social welfare schemes, driving economic growth, promoting sustainable development and ease of living. And there's a lot of scope on and a lot of stress on the youth. If you go to the Digital India portal and read about Viksit Bharat, you'll find a lot of stresses there on the youth. So basically, the second batch of CDS is the one that's going to be there when we achieve the 30 trillion economy. So we look forward to your enjoying the fruits. Right. So if this is where the vision of the nation is, what do we want in terms of cyberspace? We want that in 2047, we have a cyberspace that is safe, secure, trusted, resilient, and vibrant. And it contributes to national prosperity. Now, each of these words is very important. Safe for children, safe against cybercrime, secure from the aspect of CIA, confidentiality, integrity, availability, trusted through transparency, through ethical practices, through privacy, resilient. And resilient is something that we will discuss a little later, because the whole discussion is about resilient, vibrant, and it should contribute to national prosperity. So if this is the sort of thing that is there in 2047, then I think we will be able to achieve our aim and ward off the headwinds that I'm talking of. In 1910, every industry had an appointment called a chief power officer, because electricity was new in those days. And the guy who knew about kVA and kilowatt, he was supposed to be a genius. So now, of course, what has happened? You just plug in and you 220 volt, 50 hertz. Nobody's talking of power now. So this is what we want in 2047, that wherever we are, we plug in, whether it is on Wi-Fi or whether it is in our work spaces, etc. We get a safe, secure, trusted, resilient, and vibrant cyberspace and internet space to work on. So a lot of work has to be done. How that will happen is what we can keep discussing. What are the challenges on this path? Exponential increase in attack surface. Just before COVID started, we were 5 billion internet users. Today, we are about 25 billion, because 5G has, connected the internet devices. And another couple of years, it's going to be 75 billion IP addresses you will have, which is why, IP6 and all has come in. So the attack surface has grown exponential. In the government, too many silos. One ministry handling a critical sector, one ministry handling incident response, one ministry handling cybercrime, one handling education and awareness, and there's a national cybersecurity coordinator. This MEA is doing cyber diplomacy. Too many silos. That has to end. And there's duplication taking place. I was checking up in Maharashtra. They've created their own portal for cybercrime. And instead of 1930, now they say 14407. You dial a different number. Now, how many numbers are you expected to? So this is not good, right? Although law and order is a state subject, and this is an issue that we can discuss further. That as far as the state is concerned, they say no, it is our baby. Let us deal with it the way we want. So, but the database that you need for criminals and the way the cybercrime takes place across states is something where you have to need coordination. So this is something we'll have to find a solution to. It's a big challenge. Handling cybercrimes in 25 with a policy of 2013. That's a big challenge. So there's a draft strategy that is lying there in the PMO. I hope it comes out soon. Geeta knows a lot about that. Cybersecurity Act. We don't have a Cybersecurity Act for the new age crimes. I mean, 2013. Why 2013? IT Act is 2000 with a 2008 amendment. There was no ransomware, there was no Bitcoin, there was no crypto, etc. And all the new age crimes that are taking place. So we need the Cybersecurity Act very, very badly. Although the new BNS that has come out, and I want to recommend that all of you see some of the critical sections of the BNS, like section 176, which talks of cyber forensics, and some of the other sections which help you in digital arrest. It's very important to know the new BNS, which has replaced the IPC. Lack of funds, of course, skill shortages. That is what Mr. Sridhar also spoke of, the number of CISO vacancies, etc., that are coming up. Lack of infrastructure for AI. The India AI mission, it's a 10,000 crore mission, and 50 to 60% of that is just going into the compute part. The H100 NVIDIA chips that are coming in. So, I mean, we are very, very short of compute, especially in the AI space. Lack of social media hygiene. Again, why did we ban TikTok, for example? Because we found that in the videos, there was a lot of influence operations taking place. And with 300 million users in the tier 2 and 3 cities, they were affecting these people in terms of, maybe something against the government, something against some personalities, etc. So influence operations were taking place. And there's no lack of social media hygiene. We just don't read that I agree thing. You just tick off everything, tick the boxes as they were talking. Industry verticals. This is for you guys, the number of appointments that are coming up. The CIO, CRO, DPO, CTO, and some more, and the CISO. And there is an inadequate PPP. The PPP is very important. Public-private partnership is very important because critical sector is all private. I mean, you see telecom, you see power, energy, everything is private. So this is a space where a lot more work needs to be done. It can be done in different areas by information sharing, through cooperative R&D, through operational partnerships, co-creation, co-development, coordination of risk reduction, jointly address, sharing TI is very important. Sharing TI is very important with the critical sector. And of course, then, all the high tech. If I don't say AI today in any talk, that means I'm totally outdated. So 6th generation of cyber attacks, you all know about the first 5 generations as to what was the threat and what was the attack. Quantum, supply chains, both hardware, software. We've done a lot of work on this in the ministry, where we are now checking both the source, the trusted source, and the trusted product. And we are going down in telecom equipment to the level of the active programmable semiconductors. So the silicon is being checked as to from where that is coming also. Although a lot of dependence still remains on our country of concern. But a lot of work is happening on the supply chain aspect. Especially in the years to come, you'll find that testing will take place, and both the HBOM and the SBOM are going to be scrutinized very, very seriously, including what you get from open source. And then space wars, we have expert here, AVM Devesh. Cybertronic warfare. Now, this is interesting that in today's warfare, there's a lot of wireless that takes place. So first you have to overcome the electronic warfare part of it. So if there are two adversary nations, then through the electronic warfare, you have to first, when I say electronic warfare, I mean in the RF domain. You have to enter his domain. And then having entered it, you do the conventional cyber warfare, sort of malware or whatever you want to do in terms of penetration, etc. So a combination of cyber and electronic warfare. This is a growing field. It's called cybertronic warfare. And of course, the super intelligence and the agentic aspects that are taking place. So I was speaking in Sydney about 3 months back, where Eric Schmidt was there, founder of Google, and he was talking of this area of super intelligence, where it is defined as intelligence which is larger than the sum of human intelligence. So there's one system which is also a doctor, also architect, also, and cybersecurity expert also. So they've reached that stage, and they're talking of a scenario where human intelligence is surrounded by artificial intelligence, and how will that world look like? So that's the sort of discussions that take place. We have a lot of way to go. And you would have seen this. This is about 2-3 months back, where Google's DeepMind actually caught a zero-day attack. A zero-day attack being caught by AI is something which is really unique. So that's the sort of thing that are happening. AI is being used both for defense and both for offense. And in the offense, this is highly recommended. The MITRE framework, there is a MITRE defend framework, and there's a MITRE attack framework. And now there is a MITRE Atlas framework, which speaks of where all the AI is used in their entire chain, in the kill chain. You can see the kill chain here, which starts from the reconnaissance and the lateral spread and escalation, etc. So everywhere now, in every stage, you find that AI ML is being incorporated by the attackers. So this is a very important aspect, because it directly affects now how to prevent this thing. Standards. You must note all this, whether it is ISO, NIST, SOC 2, European, NISA, etc. Very, very important to conform to standards. Very important to also see what the government has done. Recently, in October, we have now created a National Cybersecurity Secretariat, which is headed by the NSA. It has all the secretaries as members. Secretaries, MIT, DOT, Defense, all the other finance, etc. And the NCC, my previous appointment, is the secretary of this secretariat. So this is something that we are, trying to gradually get everyone on board in an official platform. A number of laws that I mentioned which need to be done. There's a Digital India Act which is under revision. Telecom Act came out in December 23. Now the rules have come out in November last year. DPDP, all of you are aware of the DPDP? Hello? Good. Quickly, I'll show you 2-3 slides on that. Critical infrastructure protection. Each of the regulators now, so DOT and the TRI have come out for telecom, Central Electricity Authority for power, the RBI for BFSI sector, for the banking sector, and of course the IRD, etc. They have come out with cybersecurity guidelines. So whichever sector you are in, please go through that. I have a slide, I think, on that. Awareness education, 800 crore program is there in information security education awareness by MIT. Counter ransomware initiative. There's a national counter ransomware task force which has been formed under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Certain directive of 28th April is very important, where you have to report a cyber incident within 6 hours. You have to conform to the national time protocol. You have to ensure KYC, etc. Those 6 aspects are there. And of course, there's a government notification of 27 September, which now gives responsibilities to MHA, to certain DOT, etc. Some of the other regulations which are common to all industries. In your business, you must be aware of this as to what all has happened. This is all what we've done inside the country. Number of regulations are there, whether it is for health, whether it is for cloud security, whether it is the insurance, and of course, some of the others which are international. So, yeah, this is not very clear, but this basically says that now in the allocation of business rules, DOT is responsible for network security, MIT is responsible for incident response, and MHA is responsible for cybercrime, and for strategic cyber defense, the NCSC is responsible. 3 slides on DPDP. very important because in your tenure now, when you go back next 1 or 2 years, you'll be implementing this and handling the compliance aspect. So the public discussions are already underway. In January, 3rd January, I think it was put in the public domain. By 3rd of March, we have to give our comments. Most of us have given our comments on the DPDP, but do go into it as to cover the rights of the data fiduciary, the principal and the provisions. And, the penalties are 250 crores if adequate cybersecurity measures have not been taken. So this is very serious. So at a national level, then finally, last 2 slides, what needs to be done? We have to have a strategy in place that I mentioned, that 2013 policy has to be changed. There has to be an apex organization instead of, coordinator. There has to be an organization which has accountability and responsibility. There must be adequate funding for all the deliverables that we plan in mind. The silos should be overcome. Cybercrime should be handled in a different manner because it's a ecosystem that is having too many loopholes. The police system, the judicial system, the telecom, the people are having 5,000, 6,000 SIM cards. How can a guy have 6,000 SIM cards with him? So this needs a major, disruption that I mentioned here. PPP is important. A massive awareness training program, something like the polio program that we did. For Do Boond, every Sunday we used to, now polio is gone. Something like that has to be done. Regulations and standards and deterrence by denial and punishment. Deterrence, I hope all of you understand that it has to be a part of active defense. And at your level, at the enterprise level, you have to understand that cybersecurity is not just another job for the IT department. It is a backbone of organizational stability and trust and a board level issue. That is what we've been speaking of so far. And it's all not about firewalls. It is a shared responsibility. All of us are, in the enterprise responsible. So attacks will continue because of the vulnerabilities dependent on software, and the solution lies in resilience. And this is where this whole discussion is all about, as to how to ensure that there is business continuity in the face of cyber attacks. It is as simple as that. And it comes through people, process, technology, and cooperation. For the people, there are 2 types: your own staff and the cybersecurity professionals. They have to be skilled, they have to be reskilled. And then, of course, there has to be governance. What is the organization? What is the responsibility you have given to various people? Do you have the processes in place, your SOPs, your cyber crisis management plan, cyber capability maturity models, audits, VAPTs, etc., and the technology, right from the endpoint to the network, to the data in transit, at rest, to the apps, to the cloud. That has to, and the products are coming out as we speak, AI versus AI, etc. And lastly, cooperation. Within the sector, sectoral certs, national certs, all the TIs that you can get, this is very important. So this is how you can get resilience at the enterprise level. With that, thank you very much. So just a quick recap. What we have done today is that I've tried to tell you as to the fact that at a national level, the attack surface is growing at a very rapid pace, and the number of threats are also growing, and we cannot afford the headwinds of losing economy through cybercrime with the aim that we have in 2047. So there are some challenges that I mentioned, and finally, some solutions at the national level and the enterprise level. So with that, thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your knowledge on cyberspace governance and security at a national level and enterprise level. Thank you, sir. Now, I kindly request Professor Bhimrai Maitri, sir, to present our honored guest with a token of gratitude for joining us on this wonderful occasion. Sir, I request you to present a memento to our chief guest, Ms. Geeta Nandikotur, as a token of our gratitude. I request you to present a memento to our chief guest, like keynote speaker, Lieutenant General Dr. Rajesh Pant, as a token of our gratitude. Thank you, sir. Now, I invite Professor Sujit Sharma for the vote of thanks. He's a conference co-chair and the faculty in Decision Science and Information Systems area in IIM Nagpur. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. Dignitaries on the dais, all resource persons for this conference, participants. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver this vote of thanks for this conference. We are at the end of this inauguration part, and at the same time, at the beginning of lots of learning. As we are getting more and more into digital space, we are more and more vulnerable to these cyber threats. And these cyber threats are going to be in multiplication or multiply, or even are going to increase in exponential order. As rightly mentioned by Director Dr. Bhimrai Maitri sir, that data is critical resource, and it is going to be even more critical in days to come. And we are sitting on huge databases these days, as we are generating huge data. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts. We are grateful to Dr. Rajesh Pant for enlightening us on various aspects of national cyberspace. In particular, there is a need for Cybersecurity Act. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts on cybersecurity space. I would like to thank Madam Geeta and Sridharanji for helping us throughout this conference, sharing their thoughts here. Thank you so much, Madam, and thank you, Sridharanji. I would like to thank Executive Education team. I would like to thank IT team, admin team, media team, student volunteers. Looking forward to lots of learning, lots of interactions throughout the day. Happy learning. And one small announcement, we are going to go outside for a photo session just after this event. Thank you.
With this, we are closing the inaugural ceremony. We are breaking here for a tea, and we will resume back by 11:15 for our next plenary talk. Thank you. I request everyone to join for a photo session outside the MPH.